About 20 years ago, I went to an agricultural show in Wales and I saw Camilla, who was a teenager then, performing at this agricultural show. And I was just so amazed at seeing her trick riding. Like, I just didn't know it was possible for people to ride like this. You know, Roman riding, she was standing on top of two horses with a foot on each saddle, galloping around an arena. And I also, although I didn't know very much about the film industry, I knew that there are not very many women who are doing her job, and certainly not women who were so young.
In the film industry, you know, you see horses everywhere. If you see a period drama, horses appear. Like if you look at Game of Thrones and like, you know, lots of historical dramas. We made a movie called Napoleon last year. But horses are taken for granted. So by doing this project and working with stars, I wanted to rip the curtain open and show behind the scenes. And it wasn't, you know, not to show famous actors and all of the hype that people want to talk about. To show the realness of what gets put into all of this, because, you know, there's no awards or anything that we can win. We're kind of, there's unspoken people which don't get acknowledged enough in the film industry, and horses are one of those factors.
One of the things I've learned from working with you so much over these years is sort of historically how our relationship as human beings with horses has been intrinsically linked for thousands of years, and it's only in the last, what is it, 60 or 70 years that we've sort of, like, our lives have become unintertwined. Horses used to be everywhere in every major city. We didn't have cars, right? So we relied on horses and horsepower for almost everything. And I think one of the things I'm looking for when I go and spend time at your place is this ancient and very human connection with an animal that is being lost.
It is, and we're losing it more and more as we go through time. And we need to educate our people on it. If you think of transportation, you think of warfare, horses were by our sides. If people say a dog is a man's best friend, but is it? Is the horse? The horse took us. Without the horse and without the mule, would our world exist as it would today?
No.
I just think that we should shine more of a light on what the horse has done for us in our relationships.
It's amazing to see them this big, isn't it? And to see them outside as well. And look, I mean, how big is a horse's head in reality? Something like this?
Yeah.
Like, how often do we see, it's like billboard size, right? All the photos are made using a Canon 5D, with the exception of some of the more sort of like sports pictures of Camilla and her team moving quickly. We'll show you some of those in a bit, where I used a 1D. And this picture and any photographs that are made against a black or a studio background have been made using a lighting kit as well. So they're lit using a portable studio lights. You wouldn't be able to do it with most horses, but these aren't any old horses.
No. I mean, that's the job as well. That's the reality of what we do. We paint pictures, we work in a lot of commercial world, stills, film. So it's kind of their everyday life of my horses. So it means that I think we can achieve more when we want to like push the project and everything, because the horses are desensitized to it. It's like working with a model on set.
We don't see people in these pictures, but there would always be a horsemaster in front of the horse when I'm making these pictures. I'm not, as a professional photographer, able to manage the relationship and the communication with the horse.
That's the thing. So it's kind of like there's a whole system going on. You're shooting where you're communicating to me or whoever was involved in the shot, and I'm communicating back to the horse. So it becomes like a triangle of communication and how it bounces around.
Should we share them some of the pictures that are sort of, you know, like I'm thinking of the clipping photograph over here. This is actually one of my favourite pictures. I know we've talked about it before, but just like you can see the lines where he's been using the clippers to cut the horse's fur, and you can't, it's Doug, isn't it? You can't see him, but just from that gentle touch, you know that he's sort of like,
well, it's like a comforting. Yeah, it's like a hand going on your arm or something. It's just that connection and touch to be able to give the horse the security that it needs. And humans need security, animals need security. You need that safety of that everything is okay. I mean, this is I know that this is an intimate moment for me, and there's actually a lot of photography within the exhibition that I am in. It's extremely, I don't know that you're there anymore. That's what's so beautiful, you capture the intimacy.
That's one of my favourite pictures.
That's my love, and that's one of the greatest horses of my life. I don't know if I'll ever connect with a horse like I connected with him. And my journey, it's a relationship. Yeah. And that's when we had a relationship together. And you can't kind of go out and find that again, or it's not possible. It's just built, it's like our relationships with humans, it's a connection, and it either works or it doesn't work. But this relationship did work. Yeah. When did you lose him? I don't know, 7 years ago now? Is it that long? Must be, yeah. Easy.